Let's get things underway with a look at Liz Lerman Dance Exchange. If you're searching for a great outlet for artistic expression and a way to stay in shape, dance may just be the ticket. Unlike most dance troupes, Liz Lerman's company trains dancers of all ages and physical abilities, and benefits from the ideas of talented people who might otherwise never have a chance to get back on stage. Let's find out what her dancers have to say about the experience.
From seniors to infants, anyone at any stage of life can enjoy the art of dance. Liz Lerman Dance Exchange is a professional company of dancers that creates, performs, teaches, and engages people of all ages in the art of movement. Tom Dwyer has danced with the company for almost 2 decades. He didn't join it until he retired at age 52.
I saw the company performing with what was called then dancers of the third age. About 18 to 20 senior, mostly women, and something clicked in my mind, seeing the influence that seniors performing in a way that children never expected to see older people move. It made me think that that was an important thing to be doing, and I'd like to do that.
It's one thing if you think about dance technique as happening in a studio next to a bar with pink tights on, and that there is a certain training and rigor in that technique, and it's important in the work that we do. But there's a whole nother technique in learning how to embody another human.
In the dance world, the opportunity to perform at any age is still rare, and many dancers find it liberating.
I sort of consider myself to be in the middle. I'm not a younger dancer, and I'm not one of the older dancers. So to watch Martha and Thomas and to see some of the other older dancers that have come in, dance has been an inspiration. But then to watch the younger dancers and to learn from them has been very interesting.
I've danced all my life. I can't not dance. It's just something I've always done. And started when I was little with ballet, and then went into modern.
Yet the true power of the Dance Exchange lies in the way it bridges generations by matching performers of different ages with one another.
Liz Lerman was really a pioneer in getting the ages together. And she started with older people, retired people. And then she went down to where she includes everybody now of all ages.
She carefully choreographs the work to use the strengths of the younger dancer and myself just by knowing every nuance of my body, how it moves, what my capabilities are, and utilizing that very effectively.
When they have watched me move, sometimes they're very surprised at what I can do. And then when they hear my age, they're even more surprised. Being 60 really isn't that old. It's not that terrible of a, event. Aging doesn't have to be downhill. It can certainly be uphill.
Dance Exchange also offers opportunities to the physically challenged.
She acts from a very central concept of who can dance, why should we dance, what do you accomplish by dancing, what does it do for you as an individual, no matter what the rest of you is, and this community dance kind of thing is an opportunity for everyone to have a chance.
Dance Exchange has provided me an opportunity to learn, to keep on learning, to keep on growing, to keep on being challenged, mentally and physically and creatively.
It's probably given me more life in that physically I don't know where I would have been if I hadn't applied myself to the regimen of a performer. So I think my life has probably lasted in a better way over the last 18 years than if I just not done this. I don't know where maybe I wouldn't be alive.
I'm pleased to welcome Liz Lerman to the Daily Apple studio. Ms. Lerman is a choreographer, performer, writer, educator, and speaker, and founded Liz Lerman Dance Exchange in 1976. She has received many honors, including the American Choreographer Award, and in 2002 was recognized with the MacArthur Genius Grant Fellowship. Her work has been commissioned by Lincoln Center, American Dance Festival, Ballet Mad, and the Kennedy Center, among others. She holds a BA in dance from the University of Maryland and a master's in dance from George Washington University. Wow, what accomplishments. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks
we
for having
greatly appreciate it. So tell me about dance. You know, in the package, it was just so interesting to watch. Were these older dancers, had they just started dancing in older age?
Well, it's a big mix, and that's one of the most beautiful things about dance is, of course, you can come to it at any time in your life, but some of the older people that I've worked with over the years, maybe hadn't thought of themselves as dancers. The older gentleman didn't start dancing until he was in his 50s, but once he started, there was no stopping him. You know, Martha Graham says it takes 10 years to become a dancer, and he's now at it for 18. So
is he really?
He is incredible. But it's also true that we see a lot of, especially women who used to dance, or I hear this a lot, I always wanted to be a dancer, and I say, well, let's start. Let's go for it.
So tell me about that part. When you know, forming your company, did you always think to yourself, I want intergenerational dance? Because what a beautiful thing.
Well, I always thought that dance was way more powerful than the way we experienced it in our lives. And I thought that because of how it worked in my own life, the times as I was growing up, that the fact that I had dance to turn to helped me get through difficult moments. But it really wasn't until my mother was diagnosed with a really virulent form of cancer, and I lost her very fast. And I wanted to make a dance about that experience. And that, I needed old people to be in it. I just needed them. So this was in 1975, and so I went and found some older people, and once they were on, they were spirits welcoming my mother. That was what it was.
You're such a pioneer, and as a gerontologist, I know how difficult it has been to sort of break into society accepting are empowering mature adults. How has that been for you from the dance perspective now into new decades?
Well, that's the thing that's so amazing because, you know, here I was, of course I made that first piece for myself. I needed to have them. And two things happened. One, audiences wept and were so excited and said, this is what's been missing from dance. So I got some information right away that audiences were tired of just seeing the same old out there. You know, young, beautiful bodies.
Yeah.
They were looking for something else. But also the art form, I saw that the art form itself needed it, that this infusion of ideas and expressiveness. My generation of choreographers, we were trained to come up with something unique. Well, I'll tell you where I saw the most unique movement, and that was in senior centers.
Is that
once
right?
Once I could get old people to like be willing to try it. Oh my God, people had amazing ways of moving. And I would teach them. We had a version of Swan Lake. We had I would teach them the classics. But meanwhile, they were teaching me 1,000 new moves.
Do you think you're opening up the social interaction and the mental health side for mature adults?
Well, this was evident also from the beginning. And, you know, just picture me, I just stumbled into this. Now I can recite 1,000 stories. It was everything from... like my third class, I was helping a woman, because in dance you touch. You have to touch. So I'm helping her just bend over and come back up. Next week she comes in and she says, what did you do to my back? And I thought, oh my God, I've done something. And she said, no, I spent the week doing stuff I haven't done.
Yeah, I can reach down for things all of a sudden.
It turns out I was the first person to touch her in 5 years. Now, it's not so bad in so many places these days in the United States, but we have to understand that people are isolated and separate. And here was a reason to touch. And you know, the life just opened up. So once I learned that, I made it clear we were going to touch in every class.
But you know, before we close, let me ask you to quickly tell me the precautions. Sometimes you do have to be careful about bending someone down. Tell me a couple of precautions.
Well, we talk about everybody being in charge of their own body. So first of all, I insist from the beginning, you're in charge. You learn to listen to your body and don't do everything that I'm doing. Let's adapt. That's the second thing, is something beautiful called theme and variation, which is you can adapt. So if you have, I'm doing this, but you only have one arm, you do this. And I make it clear in every class that each person's doing the best that they can at the level they can in supporting everybody else who's in the group.
This is so exciting and great information. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.